What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown, and today we're going to be taking a look at guard for the New England Patriots, Joe Thuney. From what I have heard in recent news, he has not been able to sign a contract extension with the New England Patriots after he was franchise tagged. I don't think that necessarily means he won't sign one with the Patriots, but I think it means for teams like the Eagles, the Lions, the Vikings, that there's a window of opportunity to go and trade for this guy. So I think a lot of people are going to be wondering, well, how good is this dude? How good is Joe Tunney? How good is this guy who's been starting for the Patriots for what seems like forever? Just kidding, only 4 years. What does he bring to the table? How he's going to help this offensive line? I just want to highlight some of the skills that I've seen from him over the last couple of years for the New England Patriots. So let's get this thing going. Before we dive into this video, you know I got to plug my channel. If you could, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. Gaining subscribers every day, even when there's no football going on, even when there's no sports going on. I appreciate the hell out of you guys who are hitting that subscribe button. It really does mean the world to me. Once football gets kicked off, once everything gets going, it's going to be a ton of fun on this channel. And also hit that subscribe button to Jackson Kruger Sports, the man over there. He's letting me do some work for him, and I just love working for the guy. He's an outstanding human being, and I look forward to doing more content with him. So with that being said, let's dive into a little bit of Joe Thuney film. So with what the Patriots are going to run right here, we got to understand this play before I dive into it. We're basically going to get a long trap out of the Patriots. So we're going to pull here with our guard. We're going to wheel around here with our fullback. And we're going to get a combo right here between Isaiah Wynn and Joe Thuney, working up to this backside inside linebacker. Okay, now what's great about this, first and foremost, great movement off the ball. You love seeing this as a coach. Feet are firing, hips are together. We're doing a great job striking. Boom, love everything about it. But what I like even more is I love the patience out of 62 on this play to wait for this backer to trigger into this gap and for him to come off on this thing, make that block, and spring Sony Michel for a nice little gain. He does a really good job in this play, specifically just with that patience. We see guards a lot, not necessarily in the NFL, but in college, maybe even in high school. In high school, a lot for sure. We see guards coming off on this combo too early. And what happens when you come off on this combo too early is you leave one-on-one right here with your tackle. You could get an undercut here from that defensive end working over the top, or worse, you could get beat by this linebacker. Just does a good job with his patience on this. Good football IQ on this kid. Great head on his shoulders. Does a really good job on that play. In this play, and in Super Bowl 53 in general, I think was some of his best football. Going up against the best competition in the NFL, Aaron Donald, Nanakum Suh, he played his best football. And we'll get into some of his past pro reps a little bit later. On this play, we're just going to be getting a really simple single back power. So we're working a combo right here to the mic, working back with our center. We're pulling around here with our guard for this backer, or really this nickel guy in the box. But what I love about this, right, first and foremost, great job on this pull, staying nice and tight to the line of scrimmage. Once we pop off here, we're going to hit the inside V right here, the inside V of his shoulder pad. So we're going to try and wall this guy off, and we're creating a nice little lane right here for Sony Michel to run through. Just a really good job on this play from Joe Thuney. And the thing is as an offensive lineman, you don't need to have these crushing, punishing blows. Does that look great? Yeah, it looks awesome. But you don't need it all the time to be a great blocker and to be an effective blocker. Now, the other thing with Joe Thuney that I think he does really well is just so smart with his steps. This is from the AFC divisional game from that Super Bowl 53 year, 2018. Just his first step on this, right? Patriots are going to run a wide zone here, third and short, I believe. And really the biggest thing with this when you're running it as a guard is you want to get outside. You want to work your helmet to that play side shoulder pad, right? And you don't necessarily, like I said, you don't need a punishing block on this, but just that first step, this bucket step right here is so key. So he's actually going to lose ground on this, right? But he does a good job putting himself in the right position right there. We're losing ground, but that's okay. We're positioning ourselves. That's the biggest thing. We're working our helmet to that play side shoulder pad, doing a great job keeping our butt to the ball carrier, working around on that thing. Just a really good job from Joe Thuney. Again, smart plays. That's what you see game in and game out from 62 for the New England Patriots. Just a smart football player, very efficient, very technically sound with everything he does on the field. Now, their wide zone, there's something that he's very, very good at. Cutting off this backer on wide zone is something that's really difficult to do. And if you don't do it, and you got this bad dude playing Mike, which most of the times guys in the NFL, they're bad dudes, he's going to scrape over the top right here and make a play. Joe Thuney does such a good job of taking a great angle to get to these linebackers, and that's something that's really tough to coach, and it's tough to execute. Right, you have to understand that we got to go over pursue on this thing really more than anything. We want to force this backer backdoor, if anything. But again, that first step is so key with this thing. If you take a wrong first step with this, if you're too far upfield, if you're too far lateral, you're going to mess up the whole angle. He does a great job of working that thing lateral down the line of scrimmage. Toes are pointed outside of where these shoulder pads are going to end up. Does a great job cutting this guy off, working his helmet to that play side shoulder pad. Just a great job on that play by Joe Thuney, and he does it time and time again. He did it last year as well. Here's a play from the Patriots and the Bills from earlier this year. Once again, Joe Thuney just working to this backside linebacker. And something that's so key on this, right, we got a one-tech right here. So off the snap, we're thinking, I got to reach this one-tech. Well, that one-tech is going to spike backside, which means now we got to work up to this backer who's working downhill. And this could be tough for a lot of guys to do, but you see that little shuffle right there. Really good job on that, right? That little shuffle is going to give him that little gray area in case we get a ton of pressure right here. We can wheel back on that with our defense, with that defensive tackle giving that pressure. I mean, great job with this shuffle. Lose a little bit of ground, and again, we're working off on that angle. Getting my helmet to that play side shoulder pad or head up, and then just working this guy by. And this is something that's really cool about wide zone in general in the NFL. If you run this right, and I know this is more of like a toss, I think, from New England. They run it like wide zone, though. If you run this right, what's going to end up happening is you're going to cut this thing back, right? Because we're going to get over pursued from backers. And that's exactly what happens. We get over pursuage from backers here. And Thuney does a great job of staying with this play. That's the biggest thing, I think, to me, is sometimes we'll see guards and they overrun it, or they run out of steam later in this thing. We don't on that. We stick with them, and we're able to cut it back right off his backside for a nice couple of yardage there. Just more of the same on this play. Again, just working to that backside backer. It's tough to do. I probably put more of these clips in here than I needed to, but again, really just wanted to get my point across. Another athletic play from Joe Thuney in this one. He's going to work cut to cut off, right? So we're working to reach this guy. He does a good job hanging on to him so that his tackle can work there, and then he's going to work upfield and just cut this linebacker. Something that's tough to do, man. Cutting in the NFL is no joke. You got to stay up for as long as possible, flash those pads, and then at the last second, drop him down and get at the thigh board on this guy. And so here's another skill from Joe Thuney. What does he bring to this football team? Phenomenal in the screen game, which is so tough to do in the NFL at any level, right? But, you know, big guys out in space, we're not comfortable out here. I'm not. I never was. When I was running out in open space, I was worried all the time. Guys are a lot more athletic than I am. Joe Thuney does a really good job on this, and again, that intellectual football play, right? First guy out's usually working to kick out or taking that most dangerous man. Well, Ted Karras gets out before Joe Thuney, even though he's the left guard and this is the center. So what Joe Thuney does is we check that box right there. He's gone. We're going to look for that next most dangerous man, which he does a great job of just working flat down the line of scrimmage, not getting too far upfield so that guy can undercut it. Just a phenomenal job on that. And then here's another feather in his cap as far as the screen game goes. He's going to be the last guy out on this. Now, usually on screens, we're going to work most dangerous to kick out. Again, most dangerous to leading upfield. And then in this situation with Thuney, he would kind of be that seal guy. But instead of just running out here with the blinders on looking upfield, he does exactly like he's taught to do. He peels back on this and he gets a piece of this guy and springs the screen for a big-time gain. And again, it's not necessarily that it's extraordinary. It's the fact that it's just a smart football play. And like I said, he's very technical. He's very effective with everything he does. Now, I do want to highlight some of what I think is his best work, which was the 2018 playoffs leading up to Super Bowl 53. In this situation, Brady points the mic to the left side of the screen, right side of the line of scrimmage, so the center is going to work that way. So his eyes are looking over here. Okay, so what's going to end up happening is it's going to be Thuney one-on-one with Alan Bailey, who's a good football player. But he does such a good job negating this bull rush that Alan Bailey puts on him. Right, and you can see a lot of times O-line with bull rush, their leverage is too high, their legs are locked out. There's a number of things that can go wrong when you're engaging with this. Thuney does a great job, right? We're locked up, we're engaged. This arm, I would imagine, he's going to try and work underneath in there. Try not to get on the outside of the shoulder pad. Again, though, when you're locked up like this, you're not really thinking about stuff like that. He does a good job engaging, getting his hands inside. Nice wide base on this, and then he just sinks his hips, gets that lower pad level, lower leverage, and he's able to shut that bull rush down. very, very skilled from him. Somebody that you're confident leaving one-on-one with their best pass rusher, with their best 3-tech. Once again, beating this bull rush here, just using Allen Bailey's momentum, tossing him to the ground, not getting a holding call. Love the movement on that. Now, again, what I think is his best work was in Super Bowl 53, and specifically what I'm talking about is the snaps against Aaron Donald. And for some reason, there's a narrative that Aaron Donald just dominated the Patriots' offensive line. I disagree. I think that he had some great snaps, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it's not like he was racking up 4 or 5 sacks. I think that New England did a great job of containing him, and a lot of that was due to 62 right here. Now, we're going to see with Aaron Donald, he does such a good job of being active with his hands and really changing angles a lot, right? He's going to get linemen to commit one way and then work across the body, or he's going to do that slap chop with the jump inside. He can do a number of things. Now, in this situation, he works inside off the snap and then tries to peel this thing back out. Joe Thuney does a good job of being firm with that inside arm right there, right in his chest, right in his collarbone. And then he just works that stiff arm right here. Great job with the feet, nice wide base, and working him right across Brady's face, giving him a clean passing lane. We got to remember, like, is every snap going to be an A+ grade? No, not necessarily. He's going to have snaps that are going to be a little gritty. They're going to be a little bit of a B-, but that's okay. It's all about getting the job done. Here we are again right here working on Aaron Donald. Again, just a phenomenal job of working him to an angle, and this is something that's really tough to do, right? Especially with a cat who's as athletic as Aaron Donald. He's going to try and work upfield, peel this thing back inside, give you a little stutter step, work back to the outside. This is that like super famous like D-line move that the NFL wanted to post all over Instagram, right? That chop with his his inside arm and then slap across with his outside arm and then try and jump through that gap. Joe Tunney just stonewalls that thing and works him right outside the pocket. Great job from him on that play. And I'm not saying that he won every snap against Aaron Donald. There were 100% reps that Aaron Donald won. But you look at these reps against arguably the best defensive lineman in the league, the most explosive, and he's doing a great job of shutting this dude down. And it's not like these are quick games. It's not like we're getting the ball out quick. Yeah, that's absolutely a way that you can scheme around a guy like Aaron Donald, but that's not necessarily what's going on. Here's a great, this is the play of the game, right? There's that big completion to Gronk. And once again, we got Joe Thuney matched up with Aaron Donald, right? And he does a good job right off the snap, right? We work this foot outside. We try and cut down this angle, but we don't overset this thing. It's not like we're jump setting out here. Boom, boom, right? 2 steps right off the snap. We're going to step with our left foot. We're going to step with our right foot. We're not going to overcommit. Does a good job staying on that inside half, trying to work nose to nose. Aaron Donald being active, tries to work that thing back inside. Joe Thuney replaces those hands and just does a good job keep fighting on that thing for a big completion and a massive gain in the biggest game of the year. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can kind of see how good this dude is, because I really do think that he is an elite guard in the NFL, especially in today's standards. He doesn't get the publicity that a guy like Quentin Nelson does, but as a Patriots fan, I really want the Patriots to re-sign him. I think he's the heart and soul of that line of scrimmage. But wherever he goes, he's going to find success, and he's going to be an absolute stud. So with all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that would just mean the world to me. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, washing those hands. That's all I got for you today, but I'm sure I'll be back soon, and I will see you next time.